Ooh. What's up, Internet? My name's David West.
I'm Ariel Edwards.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to a Thursday edition of the Nightly Morning Show here at the Nerdy Nightly.
That's the one.
That is the one.
That is where you are at currently.
How are you doing today?
Me?
I don't know. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
you were I was confused.
I was asking them, but I thought they might respond. I wanted verbal confirmation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel really good today.
Good.
I went to bed at a reasonable time.
Wow.
Last night, I played Diablo 2 with Tommy Tsunami, as I always do on Wednesday nights, on stream. And then at the end of it, I was like, all right, Tommy, I gotta go. We beat the second world, and we're like, let's not start the third world this late. And I was secretly like, I'm gonna go play Cyberpunk. So on stream last night, I played about 2 hours of the new game.
Secretly.
Yeah, it wasn't that secret. I just straight up told them. And then I played about 2 hours of the game, and people were like, David, don't start it. If you start it now, you're not going to be able to go to bed, dude. You're going to be hooked. You're going to be into it. And I am hooked. I'm fully into it. But I also, got to, 11:30, and I was like, and it is bedtime.
Yeah.
So I feel great.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How are you feeling?
Good?
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm upset. I have to wash my hair again later, but other than that, I'm good. I'm good.
That is 100% your fault, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Put the wrong oil in my hair.
I was worried people would think that it would be my fault that you have to wash your hair later, as if, I did something wrong.
Not this time.
We're not telling that story on stream.
No, we are not. I'm sorry, Kale Burritos. I hope you feel better. Take some time for yourself.
Kale Burritos not feeling well. I'm sorry, my friend. Wow. Yep, you brought that up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nightly Morning Show where we give you all of the nightly morning news. Does that make any sense? It does not. But here on Twitch, people watch around the world, and so the nightly is for people who are in time zones where it's nighttime.
Yes.
And the morning is for people in time zones where it's morning. See, it's clever. It works on multiple levels.
It works. We kind of missed the afternoon people, but whatever, they can deal with it.
Whatever. It's afternoon. They're probably busy. They're at work.
True.
They're doing things with their lives, unlike us.
They have jobs.
Should we just jump right into the show today?
Let's do it.
Should we do it? Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh, Cyberpunk is here. It's the title story. We have to talk about it. Cyberpunk 2077 finally released. If you were on PC, Steam user, you got it maybe, we'll talk about that in a second, at 7 p.m. yesterday. And if you are on the consoles, you did have to wait until midnight in your local time zone. Although there wasn't a hack for Xbox users where you could change your area and you could get the game a couple of hours early. Which
that's fun.
Might be worth it. I don't know. I wasn't actually planning on playing it last night, but someone popped into the stream. I was playing Diablo, and they were like, you can play it now. And I was like, oh.
No.
But that did come with some problems. Cyberpunk was released, but not everyone was able to get into the game right away because there were so many people attempting to download the game at the same time.
I'm shocked.
That apparently there were 17.7 terabytes of game trying to be downloaded simultaneously. And
why didn't people download it early? Well, I guess you didn't pre-buy it.
Good question. Why? Because I was able to jump in as soon as I clicked on it.
Yeah.
Because the game was fully downloaded. But in the hours leading up to the game's release, people were unable to get through their downloads. People were getting to the end of the download, and then there was a sudden stall. And there were definitely people who wanted to play the game who had to wait much longer than they thought they were going to have to in order to play it.
Tragic.
I had to download a 6 gigabyte patch.
Right.
In order to play it. And so I had that running in the background during Diablo, and a 6 gigabyte patch on our internet usually takes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Our internet's pretty
yeah, we got good internet.
And it took me about 45 last night.
Oh wow.
So their servers were definitely feeling the crush.
Yeah.
Of I'm gonna say it, the most anticipated game of the year, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was buzz for Last of Us 2, but not like this.
No, nothing like this.
Not on this scale for sure.
No.
And I can see why. I was watching Lord of the Rings last night, so I wasn't really in your stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have it open, and I did check in a few times, and the game looks really incredible.
Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, the first time that you actually walk out into Night City, during the day when everyone's milling about and there's hundreds of character models in the street, and you just are like, I've said it multiple times, like, I have never seen a video game do that.
Yeah.
I was literally, and part of it is the ray tracing of the light is so cool. I was worried about the game because I've been having a hard time with the graphics of Valhalla on our computer, and I thought, like, it's so weird because we can run everything on Ultra on our computer.
Yeah, we have a 2070 RTX graphics card. Should be able to, like, handle most
been struggling with Valhalla, though. And so I was worried about Cyberpunk. I'm running Cyberpunk on Ultra and streaming. So I'm calling out Ubisoft right now. There is a problem with Valhalla.
With your game.
There is no way that I'm running Cyberpunk with no frame drops at 60 frames per second on Ultra, and I can't run Valhalla on medium with low cloud textures.
And you had RTX on?
Yeah, I had RTX on.
I have an RTX, but I've never actually used the ray tracing feature.
I'm gonna say now, there is an optimization issue in Valhalla that is causing problems, and maybe it's like they're not optimized for the 2070 RTX or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm literally like chugging through frames slowly in Valhalla on medium textures, and I'm playing Cyberpunk, a game that is much more visually complicated with RTX on at Ultra. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, that is odd. It's kind of upsetting because, when the newest and coolest video game comes out, and at the time, for a few weeks it was Valhalla, everyone was playing it. It was, it was hyped up as well. Like, people, especially who like build their own PCs, people who are gamers in that sense, want to be able to experience the game in like all its glory.
Oh yeah.
And if they can't run it on high, like if they have a computer worth thousands of dollars and they cannot run your game properly, that can be off-putting to certain people. Certain people, like the graphics and stuff, really, really matter. And I think that I don't know if that's just like laziness on their part.
No, it's not laziness. It's not laziness.
Well,
it's hard. Like, the thing is, like, making these video games is next to impossible. Part of the problem is that Assassin's Creed has to put out a game every 2 years because that's how the franchise works. Cyberpunk doesn't have to put out another game in 2 years. They don't have to be thinking about the next one. They don't have to be thinking about the last one. They're not putting out updates for their last game.
That's true.
Like, they are in a different position. I totally get that. I am not saying that I need Valhalla to run perfectly at Ultra. Fine. If it's not going to, it's not going to. I need it to run perfectly at medium.
Yeah.
I need the game to run absolutely perfectly at medium.
Yeah.
Because if it's not at medium, you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem to me. The problem is, like, I can't go into a cutscene in Valhalla without it, like...
It's funny, I had a similar problem with Subnautica sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird. The game's been out for a while, but it is an indie, like, game dev. And so I just wonder if the optimization was, if that wasn't, like, solid. But, it definitely is, like, jarring when you're playing a game and all of a sudden everything goes a little wonky and you're like, well, like, what am I... Like, why did I put a 2070 in my computer? You know what I mean?
100%. I think with indie devs, there has to be some kind of appreciation that is a different experience.
Oh, for sure. But for Valhalla on medium, guys.
I know. Especially the fact that I can't go upstairs. Like, the fact that I mean, now with the patch I can, but like the fact that I spent a week and a half trying to figure out how to get around stairs because I couldn't go upstairs was wild. Cyberpunk is not without its own problems, though. There was a tweet sent out by the devs of the team saying that there is still a song... There is a setting in Cyberpunk that you can turn off any licensed music so that you won't get any DMCA strikes. Unfortunately, even with that turned off, there is still a song in the game that gets a DMCA strike. So Cyberpunk is working on a fix for that, but people are kind of, people are understandably upset, being like, well, how did you miss it? First of all, if you went through all the effort of doing this, how did you miss it?
Yeah.
And second of all, like, we understand that you've caught it once we've all streamed those parts and we've all gotten DMCA strikes, but like you told us that if we turned this on, we would not get DMCA strikes.
Yeah.
And then we still did. Like, that is on the Cyberpunk developers. That is not on the streamers. You cannot put that on the streamers. That is 100% your fault as the people who put that out.
Yeah. That seems like a pretty big screw up.
Yeah.
Like...
Especially because they marketed they went hard on putting it out there. They were like, streamers, we've got you. Yeah. And they marketed the game on that. And then immediately, not even like 5 days from now, oh, there was a mistake. 20 minutes after the game was out, oh, by the way, turn off your sound during these 2 scenes because you might get a strike.
Yeah, like that's not cool. That's a pretty big slip up. Yeah. I'm not quite sure how that got missed.
Because it's not like one person, like a system like that would be put in place by teams of people.
Yes. Everybody who worked on it would have had to miss it. Mm-hmm. Which I have a hard time understanding.
It's unfortunate. I'm still going to be playing the game for 10 hours today and hoping that I figure out when I'm supposed to turn my sound off. I don't really know how that's going to work, but... Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
But it is the day after the biggest release of the year, in my opinion. I do think Cyberpunk is going to be the biggest game release of 2020.
I think so.
As far as hype, I don't know if it will manage to outsell. I think Animal Crossing might be the biggest seller so far. I need to pull up those numbers.
We talked about this.
But we are going to be hearing about next year's games later today. Today is December 10th, 2020, which means it is the Video Game Awards.
Yep.
Arguably the least consequential big awards show of the year, but something that we still get hyped up for anyway.
Yep, because we are gamers.
The Video Game Awards are so weird to me because they don't matter. Like, no one actually cares.
Yeah.
But people care a lot. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it doesn't really help the companies like like they can slap a sticker saying we won this award, but I feel like people don't really take that into consideration. I've never seen that
sticker though.
Really?
I've never seen the sticker on any like I've never been in an EB Games and been like, oh yeah, that's the sticker for the game that won Game of the Year.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have.
There's also so many Game of the Year awards. Yeah. That like the Game Awards is supposed to be the most prestigious one, but games are always like, oh yeah, this is our Game of the Year edition. But they didn't win at the Game Awards, they won at the like Saturn Awards or like the...
Yes, it's very hard to keep up with.
100%.
But I don't know, I'm still excited to see like...
Who do you think's gonna win?
For like best
game of the year. Who do you think wins? Who pulls it out?
I don't know. Here's the problem. I haven't really played... I don't think I've played any of the games on the list. Mm-hmm. I've watched you play Last of Us. Mm-hmm. I've seen people play... Animal Crossing was on there, wasn't it?
I don't think it was our Game of the Year.
No, what? I'm trying to... Oh,
Ghost of Tsushima. I think Ghost of Tsushima's gonna win.
Yeah,
Or Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I know Hades is on there, but I haven't played it yet. Although I know a lot of people love it.
That's true. Yeah, I'm surprised. I was surprised to see it on there.
Yeah.
It makes me want to play it more for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. My thought is probably Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't seen any like bad things come out about it. People seem to really enjoy it. So.
Yeah. RMK Bird Alive in the chat is saying Hades is Game of the Year by far for him. Or for them, sorry. As of Halloween, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has outsold Animal Crossing. Of course it has.
Shocked.
Do you want to play the same game again for money again?
Yeah.
And people are like, yes, I do.
Yeah, people buy
That's not a dig. Like, the Call of Duty games are what they are. They're just... I'm always shocked at how many copies they sell each year.
I know. Yeah, it's always just a little bit, like...
Yeah.
Wow, really?
But I'm not... I think it's just surprising me, not because I dislike the games. I'm just not a first-person shooter person.
Yeah, me neither.
And so it's just, for me, it's just not the style of game that I enjoy, but I know that so many people do. You know, I'm very aware of that. But yeah, it's just funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the awards all day today.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the winners tomorrow and get your guys' thoughts.
And we're gonna be talking about all the 12 to 15 new games that are gonna get announced during the show.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, I am very excited.
Yeah. Muddles40 in the chat says, Game of the Year nominees for me get me to trust that they at least aren't dumpster fires. To me, it's not bad sticker. That's so funny, Muddles.
That
it's
is fair.
kind of true.
Yeah.
It's kind of true because, like, Avengers isn't nominated. Although, the new... Kate Bishop, y'all. Not the person. There probably are people named Kate Bishop. But the character Kate Bishop is having a renaissance right now. Because she is... You cannot go anywhere on the internet without seeing photos of Haley Steinfeld in costume on the set of Marvel's Hawkeye. But we also got the Kate Bishop DLC yesterday for the Avengers game. I don't know why they put it out on the same day as Cyberpunk, because it kind of got buried. But you can play as Kate Bishop now in the Avengers game. And I'm sure someone is going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. If I had my PlayStation, I would be booting it up to try it out. I enjoyed the Avengers game. It was fine. I'm curious to see what they changed. I'm curious to see what's new. Avengers is so close to being a great game that, like, a couple of DLCs could really change it into something, worth playing. A lot of, Sort of like Destiny 2. Destiny 2 when it first launched was not what it is now. Like, Destiny 2 built and built and built, and the DLCs made it the game that it is.
Yeah.
So Avengers has that potential. You just need the DLCs to kind of implement some changes. Yeah. For sure. Richard Sim 7 in the chat is saying the new Among Us map is getting a sneak peek too. Ooh. Another map for everyone to play 1 or 2 times before going back to the original map because everyone knows what the areas are named.
Yes, I feel seen. Thank you.
No, that's how Among Us goes all the time. You're like, all right, we're gonna go to whatever Polis, and everyone is like, I was in the I don't know, I was in that place, and everyone's like, let's just go back to the spaceship. Like, let's just.
That's literally me in every single map.
And I believe it was RMK says a new Smash character is getting revealed tonight too for the Switch Smash. Oh, that'd be
fun.
Yeah.
I hate Smash, but like it's still cool.
You hate it because you are bad at it, though.
Yeah.
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 Not because it's a bad
Because no
game.
one has ever like taught me how to play. Everyone's always just like, let's play Smash, and then I just end up like pressing all the buttons all at the same time, and it's just not fun. That is not fun. That is not fun. Me going like this, not fun. Not fun. But you know what? People love it, and like,
it's a great party game. I really enjoy playing Smash with friends. Brings me back to my youth. Here's the other problem. You never played the original Smashes.
No.
You started way late in life. See, I was born in the world of Super Smash Bros. You know what I mean? That Super Smash Bros. On the N64, it's slow as hell now if you try and go back and play it. But it's so slow. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's so slow. But it was so fun. Me and my brothers with our little N64 playing Smash. It was a good time. I miss my N64. I wish I had an N64.
Yeah, although, I never had one.
The controller, not great.
Yeah.
The controller that they made for the humans that have 3 hands.
Yeah, I always look at that one and I just get confused. I'm like...
The idea, I think, was that you were supposed to be able to play it in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
Like, some games would be like this, and some games would be like this, and they would have a controller for every scenario.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think it also was probably, like, you couldn't put the D-pad and the joystick too close to each other because they needed more internal stuff. But as the internal stuff got smaller, they could be closer to each other, and so it fit on a controller better.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I don't actually know. I'm just kind of guessing.
Just guessing.
RMK says, Nintendo has never been too great with controller design. The GameCube was comfortable, but still not my favorite controller. RMK, I'm not going to lie to you. The best controller is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. As far as feel, as far as like the way that it fits in your hand. The Pro controller that Nintendo made for the Switch is a banging controller.
I like the Xbox one better.
It's good, but the Pro controller is like, it's the right one.
Alright.
The new Xbox one, though, oh yeah, with those textures.
Yeah, that's what I mean, the Xbox X one. Here's the thing, like, I have such a hard time with the Nintendo Switch controller because the buttons are reversed.
The X and the A.
And I can't get the hang of it. I just can't, but that's just me.
Oh, man, yep. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Well, tune into the Video Game Awards later. Tune into my stream where we'll be talking about the Video Game Awards while we play Cyberpunk for 10 hours. But we have other news to get to, and we're halfway through the show, so we got to bang through some news.
Boogie.
Patty Jenkins never saw Josstice League.
Yeah. Okay. I read this yesterday, and I cackled. She called it the Josstice League, and it made my day. Apparently they had apparently she did not think... She thought that the Josstice League conflicted with the movie she'd already made and the movie they were already working on. And was like, well, I don't want to... Like, I don't...
Yeah, it's interesting what she says. She says, I felt that the version contradicted my first movie in many ways, and this current movie, which I was already in production on. So then, what are you going to do? I was like, you would have to play ball in both directions in order for that to work. She also, I think, took some umbrage with certain scenes in the Josstice League and the way that Gal Gadot was shot. We all know about the scene. Well, actually, we might not. There is a
booty
scene.
Shot.
No.
No.
That's a scene that I don't like, but that is actually Gal Gadot. There is a scene in the movie where the Flash lands on Wonder Woman, and he lands on top of her, like in her. His face is like in her cleavage, and it was a scene that Gal Gadot refused to film. She did not like it. She did not like what it said about the character, and so she refused to film it. And Joss Whedon filmed it with a stunt double instead, which is why Wonder Woman's face is facing away from the camera. And when it came out that Gal Gadot did not want to film that scene, and someone else was brought in to be Wonder Woman for it, people noted that he did the exact same visual gag with Bruce Banner falling on Black Widow's cleavage in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
So funny.
Yeah, that it's not a great look. But I think that it was stuff like that and the booty shot where it's Gal Gadot's butt and then Ben Affleck riding an elevator next to a plane. That shot is kind of gratuitous.
It's a choice. Here's the thing.
They chose to do it.
Well, here's the thing. Like, those kinds of shots and that kind of humor have a place in some movie somewhere. I don't think that, like, this is the movie for it. No, but I mean, if it's
I just want to see, like, a raunchy comedy called Some Movie Somewhere.
We're gonna make it. I'll write it. It
would definitely be, like, a spin-off to Big Mouth. Or, like, it would be, like, a musical sequence in Big Mouth. Some movie somewhere.
Yeah.
There is a booty.
Yeah, I think that putting it in the Avengers movies is the wrong place for it.
That's fair.
And I would agree with, like, Gal Gadot. Like, I don't like what that says about Wonder Woman's character either. And I don't blame Patty Jenkins for not watching the movie.
Yeah, and, like, Wonder Woman, there is the, like, prelude to the sex scene in the first Wonder Woman between her and Chris Pine. But it's very soft, and it's very, like, it's not a joke.
No.
The Wonder Woman movie does not treat her romance with Chris Pine as humorous. Yeah. It treats it as, like, this, like, it's part of her fish out of water tale, and it's part of the journey that she's on, discovering who she is in the human world. And then to take it and be like, oh, she's hot in Josstice League. I understand why there is that feeling. I think that there are a lot of male writers and creators in comic books and comic book movies and comic book stuff who use female characters in that way.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate, and I totally understand. I understand where Patty Jenkins is coming from. I understand, like, she has a lot of care for this character, and she has a lot of. She really, really gives a crap about this character, and so I can respect her feeling.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know. I respect her decision. I think that, like, especially if you have already set up Wonder Woman, you already made the first movie. This is kind of what the character is. That needs to be respected if you are making an adjacent movie like that she is in it, because it's still her. We can't just decide that that's a different Wonder Woman. I mean, we could.
The DCU kind of has been doing that, though.
Yeah, but, like, you don't.
The continuity of the DCEU is not great.
It's not great. Let's work on that, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to the story other than just it's interesting. Yeah. I'm surprised she hasn't seen it at all.
Yeah. Although she does comment on, like, certain scenes, so she must have, she has to at least have skimmed through it.
Oh, I'm sure she was sent some of it by the company while she was making the movie, yeah.
Yeah, but never watched the full thing, which is funny.
I do wonder if she's going to see more of her own version of Wonder Woman in the Snyder TV show. or if she's going to feel the same way about it. I don't
know.
Feeling. I have a feeling she'll be happier with her take, with Gal Gadot's take in the Snyder Cut, because you have to remember that Snyder is the one who hired Gal Gadot, not Patty Jenkins. And Snyder is the one who created the Batman v Superman version of this character, which is pretty consistent tonally with the person that is in the Patty Jenkins film.
Yeah.
Like, she still has, like, the gorgeous dress on, but she wears it from a place of empowerment, not a place of, like, being ogled by the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
And for someone like Zack Snyder doesn't have the best history of how he shoots women. Sucker Punch is a case of, like, there's some weird stuff in there as far as how the women are visually shot by the camera. But the way that he shoots Gal Gadot in Batman v Superman is really, really, really great. And so I don't know. I think Patty Jenkins might be happier with the take.
Yeah.
Because both of the two scenes that are, like, visually very problematic in Justice League are both Joss Whedon things, not Zack Snyder things at all.
Yeah, I just can't imagine, like, I can't imagine going to your female actress and being like, okay, we're gonna have a scene where this guy lands on your tits, like, facing your tits, and you're like, I'm not really comfortable with that, I don't think that, like, works for my character. Well, you know what, it's important enough that we're gonna hire someone else to do it for you.
Yeah. Comics. Movies.
I'm liking this dude less and less the more that we talk about him.
That's fair, y'all. In other news of people that people seem to be liking less and less, if you consider Facebook a person, Facebook is in trouble with the American government.
Is a person.
According to Citizens United, corporations are people.
Right, I forgot about that.
The FTC claims Facebook is a social network monopoly, and therefore they are under investigation by the FTC, 46 states, and Guam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Guam.
And so it looks like the FTC is looking to receive a permanent injunction, and it could, among other things, require divestiture of assets, including Instagram and WhatsApp both. So the American government might be coming to split up the largest social media company.
Yeah. Which, honestly, like, that's fine. I mean, sucks for Mark Zuckerberg, but, like, go cry somewhere else.
I think it's interesting, right? Because I think that, like, Facebook is still on top for a lot of reasons, but Facebook is not the most popular social media app anymore.
No.
WhatsApp, or, Instagram kind of is.
I believe so.
Instagram is a place that people are happier on Instagram than they are on Facebook, I believe. In my opinion. And maybe that's people my age. I know that older people prefer Facebook.
Yeah.
And younger people prefer TikTok and Snapchat. But there is this feeling that, like, Instagram is kind of the, like, 20s to 40s kind of app. And it's just interesting that if they were to split them, that they would be... that, like, the company would splitting up Instagram and Facebook would literally be splitting up Facebook from splitting its two audiences away from each other.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I wonder what the ramifications for Instagram would be. I wonder what the ramifications for people who make money on Instagram would be.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure that Instagram is self-sufficient.
I'm not sure if it is either, but that's, here's the thing. I do enjoy Instagram, and I would be sad if it was taken in a direction that, like, I didn't like. But on the other side of that, like, I would also be excited for Instagram to be bought by somebody else and maybe made a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, what is fresh blood going to bring to this app? Because, like, Instagram... It can, like, kind of be stale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, Facebook, you scroll through, there's pictures, there's text, there's GIFs, there's articles, there's blah, blah, blah. Instagram is literally just pictures and
that is the premise.
That is the premise of it. But, like, I would maybe love to see how a company could take that and not change it drastically so it's not Instagram anymore, but just give it a fresh twist somehow. Like, I would be down for that, honestly.
I would as well. I think it's just tough because I was fine with Facebook taking over Instagram. Like, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
And I've been fine with them running it until they put the Instagram shop where the notifications button used to be.
That was a dick move.
And I was like, oh, I get it. Like, people have the muscle memory of clicking in that spot, so people are going to your stores now. Mm-hmm. And that was a thing where I was like, oh, this feels gross.
Yeah.
Like, this decision feels...
It's manipulative.
It feels intentional in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know? And
there's no way that was not part of their decision.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the choice, honestly. And, like, that for me was, I'm not saying it's a straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I still use Instagram, and I keep up with a lot of my friends through Instagram stories.
Totally.
And, like, the majority of the friends that I talk to is commenting on each other's Instagram stories.
Yeah.
So that seems to be, like, that's how we talk now. But
you and I have both said that Facebook is where we find work, and that's really
100%. Yeah.
Like, that's it.
If you go on my Facebook page, it is only me reposting Nerdy Nightly stuff.
Yes.
Like, I don't post anything about myself on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, unless I'm, like, trying to, like, reach out to people that I know for a question. Like, hey, anyone in Toronto have job leads or things
but that's
like
work.
that? Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Does anyone know how to do this? It's always about work or Nerdy Nightly or, Yeah, it's never about, hey, does anyone have an accountant? Like, it's stuff like that. Like, that's all I use Facebook for. I don't use it... To me, Facebook is... I use Facebook the way that I think, like, real professionals use LinkedIn. Like, Facebook is LinkedIn for creative people.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is where I'm social. TikTok now is where I'm social, because apparently I love making TikToks.
Your latest TikTok is actually hilarious. I'm sad.
I thought it was so funny. I'm so upset that did not go further.
I'm sorry.
I worked so hard. I threw on your wedding lingerie.
No, you put on my, like, robe.
I know, but it sounded funnier if I said your wedding lingerie.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry for calling you out like that.
Speaking of being called out, guys, it's time for Claris to make up the news.
No. Why? I've been trying to, like, prepare something in my head, and I just don't know.
Everybody's favorite segment, Claris makes up the news.
I don't know if this is everybody's favorite segment.
I think it is.
I don't think so. Here's the thing, Richard Sim. We weren't, like, we talked about, like, that this, like, wouldn't be, like, an every time thing, and it's become an every time thing. Spider-Man comes to... Actually, Muddles. We have breaking news. The script for the new Spider-Man movie has actually just been released. And it seems that Electro is struggling to become an electrician in one of the multiverse universes. But he keeps, like, frying the wires. And he gets really frustrated about it. And he becomes an alcoholic and gets really, really drunk and accidentally so his friends have an intervention. And so the premise of the movie is that he goes to, like, these, like, AA meetings where he also meets Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker because, like, he's just, like, having a rough time. Also, Gwen Stacy is there, but she's, like, a ghost. She's, like, back alive. It's very interesting.
Wait. Is she a ghost or is she back alive?
She's halfway in between. It's unclear. She's in between universes, actually, because it's the multiverse. So she's, like, half in one universe and, like, half in another, and it's very confusing. And the group is run by Doc Ock, who, like, is really actually, like, a good support for people. He has so many arms, he can, like, give everybody a hug at the same time, and it helps people feel much better about it. Yeah.
He has so many arms, he can give everyone a hug at the same time.
Yeah, and then Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man shows up from another universe where he became a frat boy, and his hair was just, like, too cool. And so, like, the people at the university got really upset and accidentally, like, threw him through the multiverse into this universe. And so he's there, and now his hair is deflated, and it's kind of, like, parted in the middle, and people don't really know what happened. But anyways, the premise of the movie is that Electro fights alcoholism.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Then that's the Sinister Six. How many people did I mention? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it, I missed one. It could have definitely been 6.
You mentioned none of the Sinister Six.
No.
You mentioned 2 of the Sinister Six.
I mentioned 5 characters. Oh, and also,
Oh, it's still going. It's not over yet.
Well, I gotta throw in one more person. Who else is confirmed to appear?
I don't know. This is your made-up news segment.
I don't know either.
I just want to... Let's go through the plot of this movie. So, Electro is a bad electrician, so he becomes an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he goes to a multiversal Alcoholics Anonymous where...
Yep.
Gwen Stacy is a half-ghost. Peter Parker is an alcoholic. Doc Ock is the leader because he has so many arms that he can hug everyone. And Andrew Garfield is an alcoholic because his hair is
No, he's not an alcoholic.
parted in the middle.
He just shows up. He gets, like, bullied out of his universe and, like, falls into this
So he
universe.
goes to Alcoholics Anonymous? He's
No,
like, I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm really sad. I've been bullied.
He just, like, accidentally stumbles upon it because he's, like, lost. You know, it's a multiverse, so it's kind of the same city, but it's not. So, like, maybe his apartment was actually the Alcoholics Anonymous place in this multiverse.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Well, that was Claris Makes Up the News.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I thought that was fun.
All right, well, in real news, Halo Infinite finally has a new release window. The game was supposed to come out last month with the launch of the Xbox Series X and Series S, but of course, after that trailer released where it looked like it was bad, 343 Studios, the company behind the games ever since Bungie gave away their production. That's not the right way to say that, but ever since Bungie stopped making the games with Microsoft, 343 took over, and they have announced that Halo Infinite will be coming out around the same time that the game was supposed to come out this year, but next year. Fall 2021 is going to be the new release window, full year after the release of the new Xbox.
They made some oopsies.
Especially because they were like, this is the flagship of the Xbox launch, and then we're like, the Xbox launch no longer has a flagship.
I wonder if maybe something went wrong with the game. And they put
the
out...
look of it.
Well, here's what I mean. And they put out this trailer. What the heck is that? Oh, BB-8. They put out this trailer and just hoped that, people wouldn't notice that it looked bad, and then they got called out so hard.
Well, what's interesting is, I think his name is Neil Harrison, from this team worked, this is his comment from the blog that 343 put out. He said, much of the feedback we heard from the community aligned with our own views and work we were already committed to doing around things like indirect lighting, material response, foliage, and tree rendering, clouds, level of detail transitions, and character fidelity. Mm-hmm. So, everything.
Literally everything.
Let's go through that just one more time. Indirect lighting, material response, foliage and tree rendering, clouds, level of detail transitions, and character fidelity. That sounds like all of the things in the video game.
Except maybe the storyline? The writing is good. But everything else is
well, no one had a problem with the writing in the trailer. That's the one thing people didn't seem to have a problem with.
That's true.
Still, the feedback was humbling, he says. And it also pushed us to look at additional opportunities for improvement. It really is a privilege to work on a Halo game, and we have such a strong community who cares so deeply about the Halo franchise and who we can always rely upon to provide valuable feedback on every aspect of our products. It's not always easy to hear, but we truly appreciate the community's passion, which drives us to be better. The part of the statement that I want to focus on is much of the feedback we heard from the community aligned with our own views and work we were already committed to doing. They knew it didn't look good.
Yeah, and they did it anyways.
They literally were like, oh wow, this either he's lying and they thought it looked great until people saw it, or he's telling the truth and they literally were like, this doesn't look good, but we're gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense to me. Why would you?
Both of those are bad options.
They're both bad options.
I don't really know what to say about it because it's just why?
Yeah. This game, and the problem is here's the thing. Cyberpunk delayed, and now that it's out, I'm fine with the delays because I'm 2 hours into this game and I'm like, wow, this feels like nothing else I've ever done before. I understand why this took time.
Yeah.
They took their time and they put out a game that honestly, the combat doesn't, the actual gun combat does not feel new at all. It actually, the melee combat feels a little weird so far. And the gun combat feels very much like every gun combat in modern games. Mm-hmm. It's the world. It's the RPG elements of the game, which to me are the most important parts. I want to feel sucked into the story. I want to feel like I want to feel like I'm part of a world that I don't... That's what video games are to me. I don't... A gun is going to feel like shooting a gun. You can't really improve that for me. Pointing and shooting a gun is going to feel like pointing and shooting a gun. It hasn't changed since GoldenEye to me. Not really. What changes is the immersion, and the immersion in just 2 hours. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. There's Jackie, the character that you're partnered with in the game, speaks Spanish at times, and the Spanish translates. So because there's like the closed captioning.
Oh yeah.
There's like a glitch. His closed captioning when he speaks Spanish is a second behind the normal closed captioning because it's your heads-up display translating the Spanish into English for you. And it is it's this small touch that I saw and I was like, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing that they did. Like, that's so cool that's how this world works.
Yeah.
So Cyberpunk gets away with its delays because you're like, all right, well, they did something. They really did something. This game now, if you're going to delay a year, the pressure on this game to deliver a unique new Halo experience is going to be so much higher.
It's going to have to be damn good.
Yeah, they're going to have to put out an incredible game or else this delay is going to feel silly.
Yep. Yeah, and also, like, you know, if I was a big Halo fan, like, you know, if this was the franchise that I was, like, my thing, you know... If this all happened and then I waited a year and they gave me a subpar game, I'd be like, well, why the hell? Like, what? Like, I'll just stick to the old Halo games and I'll find something new to love.
No, I hear you. The game will be coming out to fall 2021, so that's going to be something. Are we going to get it? Maybe. Probably. We'll probably play it. I like Halo.
For the computer, though.
Yeah, we'll get it for the PC. We're not going to get an Xbox.
We're not getting an Xbox.
Well, by then we might have one, just because of, like, reasons, but, you know.
Reasons?
I don't know, like, maybe like Xbox sends us an Xbox. Maybe Xbox is like, you know what?
We'll take it.
You talk about the PlayStation so much on your massively popular stream. We want you to talk about your Xbox as well. And we'll be like, oh, God, I mean, do we really want an Xbox if it's free? And we're going to be like...
Yeah, that's totally going to happen.
Oh, it's so tough. And then we'll be like, yeah, we want one. Is there anything else that we need to talk about today? No? Nothing?
I don't think so.
Y'all,
I made up the news, so, like, we're good.
Come back tomorrow because there is going to be a 4-hour Disney investor call today, which is going to be very interesting. And apparently, we're going to hear about a big expansion to the Star Wars universe. So I'm very excited to hear about that. Also, we're going to hear about 12 to 15 new video games in the Game Awards tonight. And we're going to finally find out which won this Game of the Year. And we'll talk tomorrow about whether or not that matters.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because the game's probably already sold most of its copies. You can check me out. I'm going to be streaming all day from 1 to 11 Eastern at twitch.tv/nerdynightly playing some Cyberpunk 2077, y'all. I had said that I wasn't doing 10 hours if the game was broken. The game is not broken. The game is working great on my computer, and it works almost as good as it looks. And it looks damn good.
Well, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too.
You know, I'll see you tomorrow.
You can come hang out.
I honestly, like, I might.
Yeah, just come and, like, sit in here and, like, we'll chat.
I might make a special appearance, guys.
Ooh, special appearances by Claris Dracarus. And check out their TikTok. TikTok is Nerdy Nightly. YouTube is Nerdy Nightly. Subscribe on the YouTube. Go Instagram. Go podcast feed. Go Instagram. We're everywhere.
So close to 200 subs on YouTube.
We're 1 away. No, we're 2 away. Someone unsubbed. Someone unsubbed. So we're 2 away from 200 subs on YouTube. Go follow us there. Go into the link tree. It's all there. Thank you for dropping that, Broken Pirates. But for now, we're going to go hang out with our chat for a little post-show discussion. If you don't watch the show live, twitch.tv/nerdynightly is the place to do that. And as we always say, my name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.